All right, how's everybody doing? So I pretty much literally just got back from playing Smash Ultimate at one of the demo places where they're hosting the demo, and I learned a couple things. I learned number one, this game's really fun. I learned number two, I really like playing Wolf. I think Wolf is just a blast to play in this game. He's a very, very fun character. And interestingly, it wasn't like a 1v1 situation like this. It was like a free-for-all with items on. I did get to play on my favorite stage, which is Frigate Orpheon. I love that stage. But I played 3 games, actually, and 2 of them were with Wolf, and they were so much fun. The first one was with Roy, and that wasn't nearly as fun as the Wolf one. So after playing this character, I kind of want to talk about him a little bit more because I have a couple ideas, and we see some interesting stuff in this video. So let's get into it. Before we get started, actually, I want to talk about the colors. Wolf's colors are all really nice. Like this red is pretty good. Some of his colors are kind of similar to others, but the one that I like the most is he has this orange color with like white accents and a blue, like a baby blue scarf. It just looks super, super good. Young Link, this is like the basic Dark Link color. It's not that interesting. I don't really have much to say about it. It's Dark Link. But yeah, player information will be in the description. And yeah, let's get into it. So first we see the laser. The laser actually does 7%. Again, this isn't super indicative of the damage that it will do in a real 1v1 scenario because items are on, so the multiplier is different. But Wolf's laser is actually like very good, it seems. He actually gets grabbed. This is something I want to talk about. This is mostly a Wolf video, but I want to talk about this. Look at the range on this tether grab. Why is it so long? It's like not even that slow. It's pretty slow, but it's not that slow. It's mostly just laggy afterwards. That forward throw did do like 4% though. How much damage did the boomerang do? Let's slow this down actually. The boomerang does 2 and the forward throw does 6. And that adds up to 8. Again, not an actual like 1v1 scenario, but pretty low damage. A lot of people are talking about Young Link, thinking he's very good, which is reasonable. The Young Link is a character that I don't know nearly enough about to have a legitimate opinion. But Wolf is a character I do know a lot about, and this is a big deal. Wolf does short hop forward air, and it auto cancels. In fact, he seems to do it frame perfect. And interestingly, like, I apologize for the bad quality, by the way. This is the best quality I could get of this video. But he does this forward air, and he actually kind of seems to, I don't know if he fast falls or not, because I didn't see the sparkle, but having an auto cancel on that forward air is really nice because it can cross up, too. So the mix-up kind of becomes forward air, cross-up, or forward air, no cross-up, and they just kind of have to guess. They don't have much, because it auto cancels, so they have to whiff punish in between when, or not whiff punish, they have to punish in between when you do the move and it hits the shield and when you land, which is a very tight window, and Wolf could be on either side of the person. Obviously, that's beaten by good uppies at a shield, but all the other characters that don't have that kind of are going to struggle, I think. Let's speed this baby up a little bit. Let's get back to the regular speed. We see dash attack. Dash attack is pretty good. It can lead into a couple combos. I was doing, in the demo build that I was playing, I did dash attack into up tilt into up air. And I don't know how true that is. It happened at like 0%, but it seemed to work pretty well. You can see by the boomerang. So here we see a Wolf down throw, and this is something that's very interesting to me. So I played quite a bit of Brawl Wolf, and I really like that character because I think in the setting of Brawl, Wolf was a character that I just really liked in terms of how his throws work and set up tech chases, how his laser is actually like pretty alright. And it kind of functions differently. How his shine is a little weird. The hitbox is kind of off in Brawl. But in this game, it's pretty standard. So we'll talk about that in just a couple seconds, actually. But they changed his throws aesthetically, but not necessarily so much functionally, as we see from this down throw. So this Link probably DIs out. He might die out. He might DI out. He might not. I'm not super sure. But Wolf does short hop nair. And this super good, or no, he does full hop nair, and that goes over Young Link's head, like, way over. Young Link does, like, recover very quickly. Like, here, let's just make this a little slower so we can see the exact moment Like, right when he lands here, he can just be holding shield, I'm pretty sure. So, what I think this is good to start up with is not necessarily a combo, but pressure. And the idea that I have is to dash up, and instead of Nair here, you do dash up and you do shine, like you do the reflector, because the hitbox seems to come out around frame 4, and you can, like, I don't know if you can jump out of it. I don't think you can, but it seems like fairly safe on block, especially in this scenario where Young Link is facing the opposite direction. And that's actually interesting because he gets this throw, and Young Link he dashes back here, or at least like he kind of turns around, which puts him in a worse situation. But I don't know. I think dash up shine might actually be kind of a unique thing to be able to do with Wolf. The other part of that is you can just dash up jab, and that's just free pressure. Like, they either block it or they get hit, which is good. But yeah, this angle that this down throw sends at is really good for just setting up 50-50 scenarios. And at higher percents, I imagine it can set up for a couple other things. He does full hop nair though, and that doesn't really get us anywhere. All right, so let's see how much this is, how far this one goes. We do see another forward air. We see that forward air ends before you land if you do a full hop forward air. Also, I was wrong. That nair before was actually a short hop, not a full hop. His short hop is like kind of high, I guess. But he does this forward air here, and he can interrupt it before he lands on the ground. And he does the double jump and does another forward air, but he does it fast fall, so we can't see an auto cancel window or anything. Air dodges, kind of gets out of the situation. We see back air. Back air got nerfed, but that's okay because Wolf back air in Brawl was like ridiculous. I talked about this in the other Wolf video, but it was like it was a staple to Wolf's kit in Brawl. Like, it was it's pretty much one of his game plans. In this game, it's a lot slower. It's a little bit smaller in terms of hitbox, but it seems to be just about as strong, if not stronger, because the angle it sends at is a little different. So it seems pretty all right. Like, just a good thing to have in terms of like a kill move and whatnot as edge guarding. Forward air might be better, but forward air is like quicker and can kind of function a little differently. Back air though, it kind of stays out longer. So maybe there would be actually a usage for that. This is an interesting situation. Wolf blocks the Young Link F smash, and he jumps and does falling nair into a grab. And this grab does he does grab to down throw. This is interruptible. This is Wolf's idle animation, so he can kind of dash up and do something here. I don't think he can combo off of it, but that could be either because Delfino is weird and has this weird platform, or because there's literally no follow-ups. But yeah, dash up forward air is actually pretty nice. Unfortunately, Delfino decides that they are leaving both of them behind, so they just got to get back on the stage there. Again, we see another nair. Short hop nair seems so good in terms of like just having an approach option, because it's like frame 5, which is really good, because forward air is frame 8 and can cross up, and this one is frame 5 and can cross up, and seem pretty interchangeable, but forward air seems a little bit more safe. Wolf does nair though, and he lands with it, and there is so little lag on nair. It's actually crazy how little there is. But he dashes up and actually gets a tech chase scenario. I believe if this Young Link actually tech this, Wolf could have covered any tech, like tech roll forward or back, but he doesn't tech at all, so he just goes for the F smash and doesn't get it. F smash ends kind of early. F smash is interesting because they changed it a lot from Brawl, where it was just like you throw it out. It was pretty quick. Like, I don't remember what frame exactly, but it was pretty quick, and it had a lot of range, and it was pretty strong too, so you could just kind of throw it out every once in a while. But in this game, it's gone from like the range thing to just kind of this big smack. And I talked a little bit about this in the other Wolf video, but it actually doesn't have that much end lag. So it might be pretty safe on shield if you can like pressure someone with it. Or if you know that they're not going to interrupt you in the middle of it, which is hard to know, but some players might not. So here we see dash attack, and dash attack is actually really safe. This little cross up, it's not that safe, but it's safer than like a lot of other options that Wolf could have done in this scenario. Because the Link does reverse F smash and doesn't get this punish. It super doesn't get this punish. Wolf is like far into his back roll, like by the time the F smash would have hit. So it's actually pretty safe. Like, it ends pretty early. It seems like a very good thing to have, but it seems like also if you don't cross up with it, it becomes much more unsafe because that's just an easy shield grab. Honestly, like, okay, so pause for a minute. Young Link's down air animation is actually kind of funny. I like it. It's like, I don't know, it just works. I just think it looks good. Wolf tries to grab. Down air has like no lag on Young Link, which is kind of interesting. Down tilt doesn't lead to anything though. So Wolf does forward throw. Wolf's forward throw in Brawl, I actually really liked the way it looked, and that was pretty much all I felt about it. Like, didn't have any other major opinions. This forward throw looks fine too. It looks to send at a pretty similar angle to down throw, but DI might change that. Like, you might be able to DI, if you DI down throw in, it might be that you kind of go upward slightly. So, I mean, who knows? Maybe there's like a DI mix-up. I don't think forward throw kills either, by the way. They just kind of sit here for a little bit. It's weird, but Wolf does throw out a back air. He just kind of sits here. I'm pretty sure he does end up getting hit by something. I don't know what. Up tilt, that doesn't kill. He actually does sit down there. So we see the Wolf flash, the side B. It starts up pretty quick. See this little scenario? This is actually like a very large sweet spot. And so what I think you can do is, if you can set up a tech chase on a platform, you might be able to cover just about every option with this side B. Not cover every option as in you just do it and it covers everything, but every option as in, like, if you change the spacing very slightly, you'll cover a different option. So it's not that hard to be able to react to it, because you can react kind of late and still position yourself properly. And that's good. This sweet spot does like a bunch of damage. However, it has a lot of lag because I don't know what this Wolf does. He might have like tried to do something, because it looks like he just kind of gets into the spot dodge animation or something, and he dies for it. He super dies. It's really strong. But Wolf is at like pretty high percent. Yeah, like 123. And Delfino is tiny, so that's kind of reasonable. All right, Wolf does up smash. Wolf's up smash is very interesting to me because it's better than in Brawl, which it was okay in Brawl. It was pretty good. You would rather use something like down smash because it was quicker, but down smash isn't as fast in this game, so up smash seems to be a bit of your bread and butter punish tool. So that's good. But he gets this big kick. It's pretty nice. This little F smash up here further illustrates my point that I'm trying to make here, which is like, you land, or he tries to cover something with an F smash, and it ends super fast. You just can't do anything about that. Like, if you try to land from a platform and you fall past Wolf and he does the F smash and it whiffs, you're not punishing it. Nor do you, like, if you attempt to punish it, you're probably gonna die. Like, you'll punish with something laggy and just get smacked for it. I don't know, it seems like a pretty good move in a way that's similar to like Meta Knight F smash. It's not as quick as Meta Knight F smash in terms of like end lag, and it might not be as fast either, but it seems to be pretty alright. It's also not a disjoint, so it's not as good, but it seems to function it seems to be a similar function. Alright, so they grab the items for a little bit and they just kind of clean off the stage. I actually think this is funny that they're playing cleanup duty. They're just completely getting rid of all of the scenarios. Like, the Young Link burns the final smash and so does Wolf. So that's kind of funny. He dashes up. Yeah, see, he just throws the item away. They're trying to have an even game. They're not trying to have any of this item nonsense. We see Young Link arrows. I keep hearing interesting things about Young Link's arrows, but we never see them really land in this one. We do see, however, that forward air has an interesting setup situation. It doesn't pop people up. It actually drags them down. So at higher percents, if you do forward air, it might, like, if you do forward air and land with it, you might be able to semi-spike people in terms of like the hit stun and stuff and the lack of serious angle. Wolf is at pretty low percent, but you get the idea. Young Link does up tilt. Young Link up tilt is a very small move. Like, this range is not that great, especially when compared to Link. But I mean, it's Young Link. He's supposed to be faster and less range. Reasonable. But yeah, here we see it's just a lot of really good Wolf movement. He does up air and that auto cancels. He does forward air and that auto cancels. Up air is still really good. It's not as much of just like a solid juggle tool the way it is in Brawl, where it's just kind of, you keep throwing it out and you keep hitting people with it and eventually it kills. It does kill in this game, but you can't just kind of throw it out nonstop. Full hop back air does auto cancel. Short hop back air does not. So you might want to full hop back air just to cover platforms every once in a while, because it's pretty hard to deal with if you drift away afterwards. But yeah, that's pretty much the only major usage of full hop back air in this game. Like if you're on Battlefield, just throw it out to people who are blocking on the platform. Just kind of covers their stuff. But he double jumps in back airs, and back air is really strong. Like again, this illustrates how strong this move is. It trades with down air, but that's fine because down air's disjoint isn't that big. But it really kills Young Link. Like it sends Young Link flying. So it seems to maintain like a pretty solid amount of power, which is good. You see Wolf grab, does spot dodge. Not a whole lot going on here. That was interesting. We saw down tilt. Down tilt interests me as Wolf. Again, so here's the thing, right? Because Nair doesn't auto cancel out of a short hop, your game plan, I think mostly, is to short hop Nair and fast fall. Pretty much identical to how Fox does it in Melee, which is cool. Like that's a cool thing to have. Does another Nair. We see something really cool. Wolf does full hop Nair, and then he can interrupt before he lands on the ground. This is a theme with his forward air too. That's good because that covers a good bit of space. Like it can keep up with pressure. You can double jump forward air afterwards, and people kind of have to keep contending with that. Wolf's pressure seems like actually really good, especially on platforms where he can properly place his aerials. Does get hit forward though, and then he gets up smashed. Pretty sure this game stays even for the rest of it. Yeah, it's not that long. Does up B. He does his back throw. Back throw is interesting to me because they changed all of Wolf's throws. Like they're all different in at least some way. Up throw is a little bit similar, but animation-wise, all of it is completely different. He does his back throw though, and it actually sends at a regular angle. In Brawl, it sends pretty much upwards, which is a little weird, but it was kind of cool. I liked it. But in this game, it seems to send at a more reasonable angle. I don't know if it kills. I didn't test for that when I was playing, but I found that it was actually really good for just kind of taking stage control and stuff. I did find, however, that down throw was like mostly the best usage of your throw options on neutral stages. Rolls there and does nair, and that's the end of that. So it is important to note that Wolf would have lost if this was an actual game, but it's not because the timer was like 2 minutes. So here we see Sudden Death. Sudden Death is fun to me. I like the way it looks. I like the fire effects on the side and how it gets smaller. It makes it a lot more intense, where before you would just grab the ledge and hold on there. But he does falling nair, and that gets the punish. He's actually in the middle of his up smash there or something. So something cool. All right, so I know I have the audio off for this video, but Wolf's end screen victory thing. He says "You're good, but I'm better," which is a reference to Star Fox 64, which is actually kind of cute. I like that. But yeah, that's Wolf in this match. Again, like here's the thing, right? Let's go back to the moment where they were kind of just throwing out aerials, which was right about here. Am I right? It was like while the platform was coming back after they burnt both of their final smashes. I think. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly. We did GC down air, but I don't have much to say about down air. It's just a spike. Pretty reasonable. He does like do a directional air dodge onto this umbrella, and it ends up like looking pretty safe. Yeah, here we are. Okay, so here's all these aerials. Again, his speed is much better than I thought it would be. His airspeed is a lot better than I expected. So Wolf has a higher airspeed than Falco, so both of the spacies that aren't, like, out of all three of the spacies, the one with the slowest airspeed is a bird. Like, nice one, guys. I'm sure that makes sense. But all these aerials come out very quickly. He does fast fall, I believe, after this forward air. So he actually does have lag. So that doesn't fully illustrate exactly how good that is. But it can auto-cancel. I think full hop back air is actually going to be a very nice thing to have for covering platforms in terms of like landing. Because if, like, let's say they're landing on a Battlefield platform, like one of the sides platforms. If they land on the platform, they get hit by it. If they drop through the platform, you can punish that. Like you can dash up grab because it auto cancels. So it ends up being actually like a very nice tool to have. But yeah, like up air also very good tool for like covering different platforms. His short hop is a little too high to make it good for poking below the Battlefield platforms, because I think the Battlefield platform is a little lower than this, and he's kind of poking through it, which is not the best position to be in if you're trying to pressure under platforms. So I think what you're supposed to do is like up tilt or like nair or back air or something like that. You don't really want to come from under. You want to come from the sides. But it will be good for the top platform on Battlefield where you can kind of full hop and do that. That's pretty good pressure because it auto cancels again. I don't know what the end lag on up air is though, so you might just want to do it late, and that might actually be pretty good. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I have to say about Wolf in this particular match. As a whole, like I'm just gonna talk about Wolf. Wolf is interesting to me because he seems to have to play a lot of matchups very differently, and because Wolf's tools in this game are all pretty okay, but nothing really breaks him. Like his laser is really good, his aerials are pretty nice, his speed is like good enough, his recovery is pretty alright, and he's got like a good bit of strength on his smash attacks, but nothing that really pushes him over the edge. So I mean that's part of why I don't think he'll be like a top tier. But Wolf is mostly interesting because how you use those tools is very dependent on the matchup. Like, say, for example, if you're fighting a Bowser, you don't want to be in that Bowser's face. So you're going to be shooting a lot of lasers. You're going to be throwing out a lot of back airs. It's going to be very Brawl-esque Wolf. But if you're fighting, like, best example, I guess, is like a Belmont, for example. Ignoring the reflector for a minute, like just assuming the Belmont is only doing normals. You're going to have to be using your airspeed to kind of jump over, like, F-tilts and stuff like that. Full hop, or not full hop, short hop nair over stuff, dash attack to like cut through openings. You would probably still use the laser because it's just an effective projectile. It's just really nice to have because it's pretty slow too, so you can kind of follow it. But yeah, it ends up he's probably gonna have to play a lot of matchups differently, and I think that's something that maybe will cripple Wolf in the long run. Is that I think he might require a level of matchup knowledge that a lot of players aren't super interested in getting. But he's really fun. This character is really fun. When I was playing him, I felt like, again, like what I mentioned, I felt like I had everything. Like everything that I needed. If I needed to kill, I had the opportunities to that. I never killed with up air, so I was interested in whether or not that move kills because the knockback seems kind of crazy. But I never actually got a kill with it, so who knows. But, yeah, that's pretty much my opinions on Wolf. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.